So, welcome back to another video. Hope everyone has been keeping well. Today I want to jump into something called delayed gratification, something that everyone hears on their journey to success and trying to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. And delayed gratification is something that is very important to understand from two different ends, because delayed gratification is often very important when it comes to having to sacrifice your current reality, your current circumstances, current short-term rewards, and let's say instant gratification for greater results in the future. Providing value now to receive money in the future, because your today's actions are your tomorrow's results, right? So sometimes you have to wait for the gratification, and delayed gratification is very important. It teaches you resilience, patience. It teaches you to stay disciplined and consistent when there are no results showing up in the real world and in front of you, and that's okay. Delayed gratification is a real thing. Starting a new business is a great form of delayed gratification, because the actions and the things that you do at the start of the business on a daily basis will determine where your business will end up in 6 months, 1 year and 5 years time, right? So if you put the very actions in now, in the future there will be a very successful business waiting for you. Now, we all know this, we all know how delayed gratification works and what it basically is, but there's one aspect I want to talk about which is very, very often misunderstood or overlooked, however you want to say it, right? And it's staying in a permanent state of delayed gratification. I have been so guilty with this, but you need to start attaching results and rewards to your milestones. You need to attach trophies and rewards to your milestones and your goals. If your goal is to hit £1 million, whether that be in a month or a year, depending where you are in your journey and your current and previous successes. For me, let's say my first goal is to hit my first 1 million. You have to understand that doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate the small wins or treat yourself to something until you hit 1 million. It means that you should set smaller milestone goals and then attach rewards to each milestone. So for example, you could have your goal of 1 million in a year. Let's just say, let's break it down in a year. Maybe this is a new business, right? So let's say you haven't had any current income. Your first milestone would be maybe 10k in 1 month profit. We're talking in terms of profit, right? Revenue doesn't matter because you don't keep it. Your first milestone should be 10k. Now, I do believe in quantum jumping and quantum leaping, but you need to build the momentum first in order to quantum jump. Going from 0 to 10k is probably harder than going from 10 to 100k. And that's facts, right? Let's focus on the 0 to 10k. Your first milestone, you hit that, brilliant. That doesn't mean you don't reward yourself. I've hit 10k, but it's not 1 million, so it's not good. It's important to reward yourself. Delayed gratification is also good for smaller milestones. You can prolong the milestone. Maybe you don't treat yourself until you hit the 10k. Now, how can you treat yourself? This is the fun part. Maybe there's a specific piece of jewellery if you're materialistic, fancy holiday, a nice dinner, just something to give yourself a trophy for. You can do it on a 10% basis. Now, as a new business, so you don't want to go and spend like 5 grand of your 10k profit, because you need to invest it back into your business and keep that cash flow and momentum there so you can continue striving towards the 1 million, right? But you could go and take a 10% margin out of your net profit, so that would give you £1,000 to go and play and spend. So what could that be? Maybe it's £1,000 watch, maybe it's £1,000 on clothes, new shoes, maybe it's £1,000 on treating you and your family for a really fancy dinner, or maybe it's a weekend away. Whatever it's going to be, pin that reward and that trophy to that milestone. What this does is, one, it gives you the gratification that you deserve. You're not spending it for the sake of it. You've hit 10k in a month. Brilliant milestone, so let's keep going. But let's take a reward, let's take a weekend out, go and enjoy the money, yeah? For example, you went and bought a watch. That there is a statement and a reminder to you every single day that when you work hard and you hit a goal, you get something like that. It's a reminder of your hard work, and it's also a trophy. It's a nice thing to have. And this is really important for your brain. The mental side of things is it's going to train your brain to work harder and want more, because you're actually working for a result and a reward, not just nothing. Because if you're just working and working and working and working away until you hit 1 million, you never get there, because by the time you get to 200k, you're like, wow, it's taken so long to get to £200,000, but it's still so far to get to 1 million. Reward yourself. You deserve it. I've had to do this myself. I've had to, even on the smallest of goals, it might be treating myself to a nice little aftershave for doing something for a period of 3 or 4 weeks or something. Not everything has to be attached to a goal of money. Let's say you hit 10,000 followers or 1,000 followers, or maybe you were disciplined and consistent with a new habit you were trying to build for a month. So maybe maybe, for example, you were trying to develop this new habit and this new routine, and if you stuck to it every single day religiously for a month and built the new habit, you went and treated yourself to a nice new outfit, or a nice fancy dinner. Maybe you had a glass of wine, whatever it's going to be, whatever is going to make you feel fulfilled at the end of it. Yeah. So then you got £1 million, a milestone of 10k. Then you got the next milestone, which could be 25k net profit. Why 25k? Because that's a pretty average sort of basic salary in the UK. To earn 25k in a year from a job is okay, right? It's not minimum, but it's not huge. But to earn that in a business is great. Treat yourself, then double it, 50k in a year, or maybe 50k in a month. You start to build this momentum to the point where you probably have enough momentum and energy and a good enough vibration and frequency behind it to then go and do your quantum jump from, let's say, 50k all the way up to 150k, or 150k up to £500,000 in a year or a month. So the important part of this message for you to take away is, don't purposely put yourself in a permanent state of delayed gratification. Treat yourself, attach a reward and a trophy to each milestone, hit the goal, work hard, take the reward, enjoy it, stay fulfilled, and that way you will last a very long time when it comes to actually working hard and doing it consistently with discipline.